Hey guys, welcome. I'm super glad you caught the announcement that I would be stepping in for Sarah as she's recovering from not feeling well. As you're popping on, if you could do me a favor, because I forgot to have everybody muted, just so we don't have feedback. I really wanted to dive into sharing some tips on time management and help you guys just kind of get a feel for how you can create a routine for yourself. But again, if you could, actually, you know what? I think I can manage everybody. Hang on a second. There we go. We're going to mute everybody. So if you have a question, guys, please unmute yourself. I hate being the only voice talking, but I do want to give you like some golden nuggets because I think this business is wild and crazy and sometimes overwhelming, if not overwhelming every day. And I think it's partly because we're very excited about the business and there's just so much to learn all the time. So just so I have an idea of how long everybody's been a coach on the team, because I may not be your sponsor. And my name's Melissa, by the way. I've been coaching for 4 years. And I was actually doing a video on this for a coach sneak peek. So this is good timing about time management. But share with me as you're popping on. I just need to know, I'm curious, how long you've been working as a coach. Not how long you've been registered as a coach, but how long has it been since you made your first public post and did your first invite? Because your business doesn't start until you start inviting, right? Like that is something that is critical in your business. And so if you're in your first, raise your hand for me, just so I have an idea. Okay, so I'm in our first month, so we really got to dive into the basics. Have you been in this business 6 months? Six months a year. I know I've seen a couple of Carolyn. Thank you so much, Carolyn and Janice, for your post on my income thing that we're working on for the team. Okay, so as a brand new coach, I remember feeling completely flustered and overwhelmed with the amount of training. I think it's a positive, but it's also kind of a negative to have access to this many resources at all times. So what worked for me was really streamlining what I wanted to accomplish every day and kind of actually removing myself from a lot of the noise. At first, I joined like every group opportunity, every messaging thread because, oh shoot, my battery's gonna die. Of course, I'm gonna take you on the go. Hang on, I gotta get my charger. So I remember, hold on. I remember feeling super duper overwhelmed. I signed up for everything and I realized it was way too much. Like it was way too much information coming at me and I felt super overwhelmed and I felt unproductive because I was spending so much time training that I wasn't taking any time to actually do the things. Like I got really caught up in that. Does anybody else feel like they struggle with that? Yeah. Oh, even still, Janice? Okay. Yeah, sometimes I do too. So here's what I do is I look at where I am in my business pretty much every day and I decide what I have to do that are business growth activities and I make those my first activities of the day. Your business growth activities include being a product of the product, right? If you are falling out of your routine, not gonna work. If you're not confident in the commitment that you have to your program, it's gonna come off in your social media feed, it's gonna come off in your inviting. So making that time for your own health, that's number one in this business because if you aren't doing it, you're not gonna feel confident in leading other people. So looking at my schedule, every Sunday, I do a brain dump. Does anybody else do the brain dump? Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay. So brain dump is like my favorite thing to do. I do it every Sunday. And what it is I take a look at everything else in my life and I remove coaching from the equation. Because the number one reason I did this business was that it would let me do everything else that I needed to do and still run this business. But if I don't know where I need to be and when I need to be and what my other priorities are in my life in advance, it made it really, really hard to plan my business week. So what I do is every Sunday, I look at my family calendar. We have 2 kids in travel hockey, so we're always at an ice rink. I run my business a lot from the ice rink, if I'm being honest, because I'm there an hour early, and that's the perfect opportunity for me to get on my phone and just do some inviting or checking on my challengers or create some content for social media, right? So I look at my life and I realize where I need to be. I also run another business, so I have to look at what my schedule is for my other business. That's something that changes for me. I look at what kind of appointments I might have, whether it's family doctor's appointments, vet appointments, all those things that we all have. I need to know that on Sunday night so I can plan my coaching business week. So every month with coaching, you should be offering some type of enrollment opportunity, whether you have an ongoing challenge group that's just always open and you're enrolling for it all the time, or you're starting a brand new challenge group every month. That's something that you can decide, whatever works for you in your business. I have both. So I have an ongoing 365-day Beachbody On Demand member group. It's not a challenge group. It's just a client group. It's free. I don't really post a lot in there unless I'm recognizing people. So that's kind of like, it's just always ongoing. I don't really have to think about it. It's just always something that's part of my business every week. But I then look at what do I want to accomplish in my business for the week. And so if you know that it's an enrollment week, that's going to be the week that you're going to focus on doing all your follow-ups and really massively inviting to your next enrollment week, your next challenge group, whatever your next opportunity is for people to join you on whatever start date that you have. If it's not close to your challenge group week, then you have to really understand that your week could be focused more on building new relationships, inviting people to, if you have a sneak peek into what a challenge group is, or you're simply using your current challenge group as a sneak peek group, but really continuing to invite and build, that's something that you can then look at your calendar on Sunday or whatever day you're going to do your weekly brain dump. This is something that works for me, guys. And then decide what time of day you're going to work each day. So I get a lot of people asking me, what are my business hours, or how often, how many hours a day do I work? And I don't really have set hours. I have set non-working hours. Like, I know that when my kids get home, that I really want to make sure that they are set up, unless I have like a client call or a team training or a project that I'm working on. I really want to kind of shut that down and be present with my kids. On the weekends now, it looks a lot different. I really try to unplug from my business. On Saturdays, I really try to completely just kind of unplug, give myself that day of recovery and mental relaxation. I think that's important, to give yourself a little bit of permission to breathe, because you're going to burn out if you don't. But every other day, I kind of have a business plan in place for what I need to accomplish. And as a new coach, I didn't have that. I just kind of really felt scattered, really felt overwhelmed. And if you're in your first month, or even in your first 6 months, or even if you're a couple years in and you still feel like that, I want you to know that that's normal. There are plenty of days where I still feel like that, because this business is always changing. There's always something to do. But a couple things that I put on my weekly checklist are the National Wake Up Call, any team calls that we are hosting that are live. Guys, these team calls are your opportunity, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to unmute yourselves and ask questions, and we'll have a Q&A, okay? That's your opportunity to learn from leaders within your team and really find that support with people that you can connect with on a daily basis. Maybe start a messaging thread or something like that. And then I look at, what do I need to develop in my skills at this time? So right now for me, in my business, I know that I need to improve my Instagram skills. So I will seek out training on Instagram, and I will plug that into my business week. But I know that in advance, so that on Sunday I have my coaching schedule kind of laid out, which helps me better manipulate my time. Something that I also did and still do is I work in power blocks. I don't have set business hours. I don't just work for 2 hours in the middle of the day. I will work 15 minutes in the morning or 20 minutes in the morning. And then I will take a break. I'll take care of my kids. I'll go to my other job. I'll come home in the afternoon. I'll do another power pocket of time. And then sometimes, like tonight, I have a team call, or I'm doing some follow-ups and connections, live phone calls with customers. So I think one of my success tips with time management is being flexible and always having a pulse on your business, but always doing the business growth activities before you do the trainings and before you do the fluff stuff like playing in your challenge groups. Like, how often do you guys scroll your challenge groups and spend 20 or 30 minutes in there commenting on posts and like chatting with people, and all of a sudden you realize that you just spent 30 minutes talking to people that have already signed up and you didn't invite a single new person, and now all your time is gone. Happened to me all the time. Still happens to me sometimes. On those days, here's how I fix that. I see Melissa smiling. Here's how I fix that. When I know that I haven't done what I needed to do because I was fucking around and doing something stupid, I don't give myself permission to go to bed until I invite 3 people. The end. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I want my business to be successful. I didn't do the things that I needed to do when I should have done them, and I'm the only one that can correct that. This isn't about being perfect and being super duper. I mean, there are a lot of coaches that are super duper disciplined and super duper structured, and if that works for them, awesome. That will never work for me. I don't want that structured of a job. If I did, I would go find a job that punched in at 9 and punched out at 5, and I had a boss telling me everything to do that I needed, when I could go to the bathroom, when I could take my lunch break, when I could be home with my kids for a snow day. That's not what I'm looking for. So if you're coming into this business, I don't want anybody to feel like you have to do it a certain way to be successful. You just have to stop giving yourself permission to not do the things that will grow your business. So on the days where you get distracted and you don't do what you should be doing first, which is you're inviting, starting new conversations, and adding friends to your network. If you get sucked into the whole scrolling the newsfeed, checking in on your challengers, talking to your fellow coaches about bullshit, like if you get stuck in that one day, I challenge you to own it and not go to bed until you start 3 new conversations for that day. The end. Like, that is what has consistently helped me with my business. Even on my down days, on my Saturdays where I kind of take a step back, I always talk to 1 new person. Always. It takes 3 minutes of your day. Like, starting a new conversation and just being a little bit plugged into your business every day is how this business builds momentum. And so if you're somebody that's looking to grow your business really rapidly, it's not that you have to have monumental hours in your day. You just have to be really disciplined with doing your brain dump, setting up your schedule for the week, knowing what your focus is for the week. Do you have a group starting? Is it your push to enrollment week? Or are you in that phase in your business where, for me, my business runs on a cycle. I spend about 2 weeks building new relationships, starting new conversations, inviting people to my sneak peek into a challenge group. Like, I have a holding group for people. And then I spend a week of really helping people like pull the trigger and get started. And then I have a week of helping challengers get started correctly. And then I repeat that cycle of 2 weeks of like inviting people to learn for free, starting new conversations, adding to my network, doing a heavy push for enrollment, helping people get started, repeat. So when you have the cadence set in your business and you have a monthly business plan for yourself, whatever works for you, that's where I think it's going to be easier to find your time management. Also, with all the training opportunities, guys, make sure that you are not going 10 steps farther in the training than you need to be. And what I mean by that is, when I was a new coach, I looked at the graphic for Diamond, okay, because I knew I wanted a business. Okay, I didn't just want $50 a month. I wanted to be able to consistently pay for my groceries every month, which was like it's like $800 to $1,000 a month. And so I knew that that was one of my goals. And in order to achieve that goal, I knew that I would want to hit that diamond level, but I didn't really understand the placement. I didn't really understand Team Cycle bonus. So if you're a brand new coach, don't waste time understanding the logistics. Spend time talking to people. Spend time showing up on social media and being social, going to other people's pages and commenting on their stuff, adding friends to your network, starting new conversations, using Instagram stories to create conversations using their polling feature, throwing out a poll on Facebook, getting interaction and engagement on your social media. and put the training kind of on a, okay, this is what I want to train myself on this week, but then I'm going to do like 1 or 2 trainings, and I'm going to take action on what I learned. I'm not going to do a new training every day and never take action on it. So what I try to do is focus on like 1 training topic or 1 or 2 training calls for the week. And the rest of my week is focused on business growth activity in the time that I have. Something that really helps me streamline, and I'll show you guys a screen share. As far as time management, this is something that I've been training my team on, and has worked really, really well for some of my new coaches who work full time, and who are, would feel frustrated or overwhelmed with keeping track of people, or having the time to follow up and have those one-on-one connections or conversations to explain what we do, what an accountability group is, what our programs look like. So if you haven't yet seen this, this is something that I just wanted to share with the team. It's very, very simple to set up once you get used to it. And it really helps me streamline my business. I take people from Instagram and I start conversations from them. I ask them if they're on Facebook, and then I will plug them into a free informational group. So whatever challenge group that I have coming up, whatever the theme is, I use an informational sneak peek group. So I'm constantly inviting. If you're feeling like you're struggling with getting into the routine of inviting because maybe your challenge group isn't opening for a while, this is something that helps me be consistent in both time management and my inviting. So I'm always starting new conversations, and I always have something that I feel like offers value and I can invite to, and it's super quick. This is why I want to show you this group, because it's super quick. So for people who are very busy, what I do in this group is I change the banner out, and I have kind of a starting date or a theme or something that I'm focusing on. You might have a 365-day theme. There are coaches that just always have, like I look at the Fitzpatricks, and they always have just Crush Nation or Crush Fitness. Like that's what their group is always called. I like to change my theme. It's just something that keeps it fresh for me. So what I do is I put together a little informational group. It has a welcome post about what I'm offering, why I'm excited to share what I'm offering. And it has information about what the group is going to offer. It has a fitness sample. It has me doing one of the workouts. If you guys want to peek in here, you can peek in here. But it's really, really simple. I set it up into units, so it's a social learning group so that they can pop in. And again, this is why I'm showing you this, because this is super time management. I talk about why I want to help them. I talk about what I'm excited about. I share my own personal results. I talk about our fitness programs. I talk about our nutrition plans. I lay out the options for people. I talk about mindset and what I work on as far as, especially in becoming a badass, it's just creating an I can attitude. So there's just a simple post on that. It's not a video, it's just a post. I talk about the accountability and the support that we offer. And then I bring them to this option. And this is where I spend most of my time with people. So instead of listing pricing, which I've done in the past, and I've been really successful laying out their options, like, okay, it's a challenge pack, it's $160. Well, now with so many options, it's really hard to put out a blanket pricing. Does anybody else feel that way? Like you can't just say, oh, $160, because what if they need Energize? Or what if they need the Tubing Mindset? And so to have a million options in an informational group was making it really challenging for me. So it was making it really challenging for me. So what I've done differently is I just put in there that when they're ready to learn about pricing, that we're going to set up a one-on-one phone chat. So instead of going back and forth, and again, this is all about time management, guys. Instead of going back and forth in a messaging thread, hoping that I don't word vomit, hoping that I don't send this big long blurb text message and then they go MIA, right? We've all done that, where we send out, we throw up everything we're excited about and we're like, you're gonna get this and you're gonna get this and it's $160 and you should totally buy this from me. And then we wonder why they didn't respond. So what I have found is I get them to the place where they're interested enough, they know what I'm offering, but I haven't really spent a ton of time. I mean, I've identified why they're interested. I've built a relationship. I'm not just plugging people in there that I have no idea what they want. But if somebody shows interest, they answer a poll. They comment on a post, they click like, they send me an inbox. They are following me on my IG stories every day. I reach out and I say, would you like to learn about what it is that I'm doing? If they say yes, I ask them their goals. I get an idea of what they want to accomplish. Then I plug them into that peak group. It saves so much time. I wish I would have done this when I was a brand new coach, but we didn't have social learning groups on Facebook. That wasn't an option. So what I was doing was just keeping a notebook and trying to like follow up with people that way. For me now, this system works a lot better for follow-ups because I can scroll that sneak peek group and look at the member list, and there's my follow-up list. I also have a pen and paper list of people who haven't been added to a sneak peek group yet. But this makes it really, really helpful for me to manage my time in inviting consistently, sharing what I have to offer, setting up a phone call, guys. And I've been training my team to do this too, and they're all finding so much more success as far as percentage of people that say yes as opposed to, hesitate or ghost or don't respond. If you can get somebody on the phone, this is also how I've been able to reduce the amount of hours that I'm working, because I'm not spending 3 days having a conversation that would just take 8 minutes on the phone. Then I look at my week when I have somebody that's at that point that they message me or I follow up with them, because guys, people aren't just going to message you just because you put them in a sneak peek group. Doesn't mean they're going to message you. Doesn't mean they're ever going to make it to that unit, right? So I follow up and I ask if they've tried the sample workout that I've posted in there, if they've taken a peek at the recipes that I've posted in there. Those are easy ways to follow up where you're not going to feel super salesy, right? Because you've given free value in your sneak peek group. And again, this is just what works for me. But I ask them if they want to hop on the phone and chat about their goals. I look at my schedule for the week. When am I going to be at the hockey rink? Perfect. I'm going to schedule my calls when I'm sitting at that hockey rink, or I'm driving to the hockey rink, or my kids are in bed. And so I will take 8, 10, 15 minutes to get on the phone and build a relationship with somebody, share the different package options. Once I've really heard their goals, if I hear that they cannot drag their ass out of bed, I'm going to offer them Energize. Like, that is a solution. And so I can help them customize their package. And that's when I give them pricing and I tell them about the discount coach opportunity. I offer everybody the discount immediately, and I don't offer it. I say, okay, we've decided on your package. This is what I'm going to send you. I'm going to include a discount membership on here, because if you do continue with our products and programs, I want you to save money and make it the most affordable solution for you. It doesn't lock you into anything. And I go through that. And it doesn't sound like word vomit, and it doesn't sound sketchy because I'm on the phone with them. I just built 15 minutes of a real relationship with them. We've chatted on Messenger, and now we're just closing the sale. So I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to work as long, and I'm definitely more organized by using this group. Now, if you're somebody that's really heavily based on Instagram and you feel like a Facebook group would not work for you, I want to throw out a solution to simply create some type of sneak peek group like this on the Tracker app. Like, if you're running your groups on your Tracker app and you're going to be running your accountability groups on your Tracker app, then that's a simple solution where you can create a series of posts of informational content, the sample link for the Transform 20 workout, for instance, or, as we have new program launches, you can do it on the Tracker app. You don't necessarily have to do it on Facebook. And so that's a good way. Again, if you're doing it on the Tracker app, you're getting their email because they have to give you their email to sign into the Tracker app. You have a follow-up list because you have a member list of who's been added to that group. So it really helps streamline it. The only thing is you're going to have to take that time at the beginning of your month to set your group up and really identify. Here's what helps me. Again, this all comes back to time management, because I think you can be more effective with your time if you have a specific goal and you have a specific picture in your mind of what you want to offer people. So I really like to compare it to when I take racecations, weekend trips with my challengers and team of coaches. We've done 3 already. We have a 4th on the books, right? And what I do is I pick a city and I pick a race that we're going to all run together. It's very similar to picking a Beachbody program or a set, time frame to let them pick a program of whatever they're choosing. I give them a start date, okay? And I tell them what they're going to experience when they join the group. I tell them how they're going to feel. I tell them that we're going to, when we're talking about our racecation, I tell people we're going to have a team dinner on Friday. We're going to have cocktail hour on Saturday. Saturday morning, we're going to get up and we're going to do the run together, okay, the accountability. We're going to do some sightseeing. There's going to be an opportunity to get like the hop on, hop off bus at the new city. We're going to do a team picture at this location. So when you can paint a picture like that about an experience using Beachbody programs, and you know in your head what you want to give to people, your inviting becomes so much more powerful. Your focus becomes so much more powerful. Instead of trying to appeal to everybody and therefore really struggle with connecting with the right people, the people that are going to say yes, if you can become laser focused on the experience and what's going to be happening in your challenge group and what you're excited to offer people, it's going to help you streamline your time. Because I listened to this podcast, guys. There's a podcast it's called The Life Coach School by Barb Castillo. And there's a episode, I can't remember the episode, but if you scroll through her list, it's the inability to make a decision is what stops you. Like if you don't have a clear idea and a specific goal in mind, like I am going to start a group on March 1st. It is going to run 30 days. Everybody that's in it is going to be doing this workout program, or pick your own workout program. Everybody that's in it is going to check in on Tuesdays with their progress. Like if you can't paint that picture for yourself, then you might really struggle with managing your time because you don't have a focus. You're feeling very scattered, right? So I think, really doing that brain dump, having a focus for the week, having an idea for your business plan for the month, what you want to offer people, who you want to work with, that all goes into time management. When you can create that business plan for yourself, and don't let that term scare you guys. Like business plan used to scare the shit out of me. Oh, sorry, Brooke. Used to scare the crap out of me. Like it sounds so fancy, right? Like it sounds so, I'm not corporate. I don't like, it's just like setting up your meal plan. Like you just have a meal plan. Well, you just have a business plan. You just have a concept or an idea of something that you want to offer that month to help people get started and crush their goals. So I want to open it up for, I want to show you one other thing that I do really quick, and then I'll open it up for questions, and then we'll be done. So what I used to do as a new coach, and I still do this is time management too. How many times do you find yourself putting a post out there and then going back to it 100 times during the day, seeing if anybody liked it, seeing if anybody commented? Bullshit. Stop it, okay? Put your post out. If you get a comment or a like or something within the first minute or two of that post going out, engage on it, okay? Respond in the comments, tag it back. That works in your favor for Facebook and Instagram algorithms. Instant engagement and communication in the comment thread is a good thing. But at some point, you gotta stop, right? So on Facebook, I post 4 times a day. That's what works for me. Maybe you're posting once a day. Doesn't matter. You gotta figure out what's gonna work for you in your business and the algorithms that you're working with. But here's what I used to do and here's what I still do. And this is super, super simple time management. So how many times do you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't have anybody to reach out to today. Now I don't have anybody to invite. Now I feel lost. Now I'm going to scroll my challenge group. Now I'm going to waste an hour and I'm not actually going to do anything productive in my business, right? So here's what I do. I go to my own page and I do the same thing on Instagram. I go to my page, not the news feed, and I look at my posts. First of all, I want to score myself on my day. Like, am I just doing the same thing over and over? Am I offering any suggestions? Like here I offered a personal development book suggestion. Okay, I'm giving a little bit of value. Okay, am I sharing transformations? But is it always me like in my living room? Is it always me in a sweaty selfie? Is it always me doing this? Like if your feed is boring, then your feed is boring and you got to own that. So what I really try to do is I have 3 to 4 posts a day and only one of them is just me, usually, hopefully. Okay. And so what I do is I go back, and this takes 3 minutes of your day, and this is my nighttime routine. This can be like your 5-minute wrap up to set you up for success the next day. I go to my social media and I look through who liked my post. I also look for who commented on my post. I engage in the post itself to get more engagement, better algorithms. When I respond to somebody, I'm going to type their name in and tag. Same thing on Instagram, right? I don't get a lot of traction on Instagram yet. I kind of suck at Instagram, but I'm working at it, okay? So a lot of these people are either already challengers or they're already coaches, but what I'll do is people that aren't already connected with me, I will go to their profile and I will comment on something of theirs. Okay, so I'm reciprocating engagement. I'm not inviting them. I'm just kind of friendly chatting. Like, okay, this Jill Jolie, you see her in that list? She's in my sneak peek group. She told me no. I left her in my sneak peek group. She can remove herself if she wants, but I'm still sharing content in there. In about a week, I'm going to go live in there every day, and I'm going to build some momentum and some energy. So I might go to her page and just see if she had anything that I can organically, naturally comment on. So I do this once a day for my 3 or 4 posts. Some posts don't get much engagement. Other posts do, depends on the time. Like this one only got 4 likes. Can't do anything with this. These people are already part of my team or part of my challenge groups. That's like a dead post. It's not gonna build me any new momentum. But when you do this every day, I don't reach out necessarily that night. Unless I'm ready to have a conversation, I make them my follow-up for the next day. So now I can go through and usually at least find 3 to 5 people that I can invite to something or comment or start a conversation with based on who's engaging on my social media. If you're new and you're not getting engagement on your social media, then you know that that's your indicator that you need to be better at that. You need to figure out why you're not getting engagement on your social media. You need to look at your content. You need to better your content. That's about taking ownership and realizing that, like, this business takes time and practice, and that's why it takes months or years sometimes for people to find success, because you can't put out 17 posts in one day on Facebook. Like, your content is going to take time to build. But what you can also do is, again, go out and engage with new people. Look through your friends list, look through your mutual friends list, look through your husband's friends list, your friends of friends lists, and start to add friends to your network so you can get more eyes on your page. Make sure you're public. Make sure you're not a private profile. I know that's scary for people, but opening the door for your business is huge. You're going to hear that all the time. But that quick review of not going to the news feed at night and getting stuck in the news feed, but just going to my page and trying to come up. And there are days, guys, where I have no names. And then I'm like, shit, like tomorrow I got to do something different. Tomorrow I have to go and friend 5 more extra people or whatever it is. When I first started, I had 300 friends. Now I have almost 3,000, and I haven't invited them all. So I'm not out of people to invite. But I don't want to just be icky and like cold invite. So I like to follow that engagement system. And that's how I start my day the next day, is I look at that list of people that had followed me the day before. And that's my first to do, is starting new conversations or inviting those people. And then I move about my business day, posting to social media, and checking in on my challengers, checking in on the team, checking in with my coaches. So any questions, guys? We have like 6 minutes. If you want to do a live Q&A, please unmute yourself. Chat box. What is the name of that life coach? That is called the Life Coach. Let me look up the podcast. It is the Life Coach School, and her name is Brooke Castillo, and she has a lot of great content. So she's not a Beachbody person, but she's definitely helpful. There's an episode on there's an episode called Goal Shame. I think it's episode 213. I really, really like that episode too. And she's a fantastic resource that you can connect your challengers to as well, because it's more about life, and some of it's business, but some of it's just mindset in general. So I like that podcast. Any other questions or struggles with time management? Or if you have found a really good routine, like if you've been on the team for a while, and you want to share a tip or a suggestion of how you manage your time. I know we had just the Tip Tuesday in the team page, and I saw Christy popped in with how she was. I haven't had a chance to actually watch the video, but how she manages coaching and working full time and all of that stuff, guys. I was on the phone with somebody I can't remember who it was. Oh, one of my newer coaches. And I said, the busier the coach, the more productive they are usually, because they have less time to get sucked into the BS activities, and they just laser focus on what we need to do as coaches to grow our business, which is invite to challenge groups, invite to the coaching opportunities. Is anybody inviting directly to the coaching opportunity on a daily or weekly basis? Is that something that is on your, Tracy? No. Can I ask why you guys aren't doing that? Unmute yourself. What's your biggest fear in inviting to the coaching opportunities?
I don't think mine is a fear. Well, maybe it is, or maybe I'm just delusional. I am not entirely sure that I want to build a huge downline work. I want to help people on an individual level. That's why I started coaching. So I just feel like my goal is not, and maybe that is just I'm telling myself that because it's hard. I don't know, but I do feel like when I think about what I want my business to look like, what I want it to look like is helping people get healthy.
I also am the same way. I actually am more passionate about helping people get their health and fitness results. However, I have found some really, really great coaches that I've added to my team in the past year. And when I get those messages of, oh my God, I helped my first customer, or somebody posted a thank you, like it really does feel the same. Like it really does. Helping people is helping people. And so I think I was stuck in that part of my business for, I would say, 3 solid years. I really did not invite to coaching. I didn't think that I could be an effective leader or that I would enjoy it. And I think I just had a mindset shift and decided what kind of community I wanted to build, and realized how difficult it was to help that many people by myself, if that makes sense. Like if you don't have help running your groups and you don't have help with people sharing their energy, sometimes it can become really, really taxing to be the only motivator in a challenge group. Like if you have a lot of people who are not checking in, it can feel exhausting and it almost takes the joy out of the business. And so what I realized was when I had somebody that was a rock star challenger, I wanted to keep them in my group. But I also realized that if I invite them to the coaching opportunities or simply share the coaching opportunities on the newsfeed, guys, is that here's a really great story that happened in my boot camp this month. And I started sharing my challenge groups and my wellness groups with my team this year, and specifically with Corinne, who I'm pretty sure everybody would know. And one of her challengers lost 30 pounds. And I wouldn't have been able to see that if I didn't have a teammate in the group adding new people. And so what I realized was I would still get all that joy and satisfaction and fulfillment from seeing people achieve their health and fitness goals, even if I wasn't the one to invite them in. And so maybe for you, Tracy, it would benefit you to have a success partner or somebody to work with where, maybe you're not building a huge team, but you are building a couple working coaches. Guys, this business is whatever you want to make with it. If your passion is rooted in helping people get healthy, follow your passion. Don't force it, but keep an open mind and realize that the more help you have in leading your challenge groups, the better. The more help you have in building your challenge groups, the better. Like it's really inspiring to broaden your reach, if that makes sense. So hopefully, did this call give you some tips, or hopefully,
definitely
time management?
Can I just ask you real quick? So
yeah. If I don't answer, I'll answer in the team page because we have like 30 seconds.
Okay. It sounds like you lead with inviting as a challenger, but with the coach discount. Do you ever lead with the coaching opportunity?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what I need to do more.
Yep.
Is that I don't do that.
I look for people that show up on social media consistently with positive mindset, fitness, and or nutrition, and I directly invite them to the coaching opportunity. I have had 2 people say yes, and both were posting about fitness well, no, one was posting about fitness, one was posting about something else, and they both needed to be a challenger first, and I had no idea. But now they're looking at coaching, so I've helped them get healthy through my invite to coaching. So it's a win-win.